Hello, everybody, to this Tuesday edition of 4FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jake Taylor.
And I'm student meteorologist Jay Kimball. And we're going to talk about no more rain. Rain's happened the past couple of days from Saturday all the way up till now. But by the time tomorrow, it's going to be clearing out and some more cold weather will be on the way.
All right, Jay. This is the last show really before Thanksgiving. A lot of people are heading out tonight, but weather conditions may not be so favorable for that, especially right now. I-10, I believe, we just got a report, is literally bumper to bumper right now as the road is just inundated with rain, right?
Yes, especially for places Central Florida. They're seeing a lot more of the rain that we saw the past couple of days, especially Orange and Osceola County. They saw a couple of tornado warnings in effect.
They did see tornado warnings issued earlier today. Those are no longer active. Still kind of give you an idea of what's the severity of some of these systems, or as this front moves through. It's kind of stalled out now, but the Northeast is going to be getting some pretty significant weather too, right?
Yes, they will be. Travel conditions are not going to be all that great because all the snow is going to be in the area as well. We saw a lot of snow last week, and there's going to be a couple of snow in the area for this week as well.
Yeah, but the good news is, as soon as this front moves out, by Thursday and by the Macy's Day Parade, when they're setting off, we should have some pretty nice weather out there, cool weather, clear weather. So.
Yes, indeed. No more bad weather because the cold front makes its way out. Seeing a lot more nice weather and a lot more better conditions for our most of the area. Now let's take over the overview with John.
Mess across the state today. No sign of any sunshine except for way down into the Everglades and down towards Miami. The front is still towards our west, bringing in a lot of moisture, some very rich moisture, and there's actually a flood watch for most of the peninsula today, all the way from Jacksonville down into the Naples and Fort Myers area. Rain total is really totaling up here, already above 4 inches here in Tallahassee and across much of the Big Bend. Rain will continue tonight, but we'll be clearing tomorrow and into the afternoon hours, and then we're really going to see a cool down as we head into the end of the week. And that game day on Saturday, we're going to look fantastic against those terrible Gators down there. Coming up from Gainesville, 46 degrees tonight is your forecast, with heavy showers at times with an embedded thunderstorm or two, with north winds out of the north at 10 miles per hour. And that's going to bring in the drier air as we head into tomorrow, and we're starting to see that off towards the northwest already. But we're going to take another look at these rain totals here with Jake now.
All right, thanks, John. And like you said, 4 inches thus far in Tallahassee, but in the rest of the Big Bend, we've seen the similar story, 2 to 4 inches. As a matter of fact, in southwest Georgia, they've been seeing 5 inches of rain, and Central Florida has also been seeing totals around there. You see on the screen there, still getting inundated with rain. The yellow is pretty significant rainfall extending all the way from Jacksonville, really all the way down to Tampa and Central Florida. So they're still seeing quite a bit of rain. Fortunately for us, over the next few days, or through tonight, excuse me, we're not expected to see flooding conditions. There will be rising rivers in specific areas, such as the Flint River Basin. This is northeast, excuse me, of Carabel, Highway 319, and the areas below Thomasville and Newton. We'll be seeing some raised water levels, but fortunately, nothing too significant in terms of flooding. Still got to keep our eyes on the roads, though, especially I-10 for those of you leaving tonight. But Jay, locally, what more can you tell us?
Well, locally, we're seeing a lot more rainfall in the area. We're not done with the rain just yet. We're going to see a lot more rain coming into tonight and tomorrow morning, but we'll be clearing out by tomorrow morning. But for right now, we're going to take a look at the radar. You're seeing a lot more showers in the area for Tallahassee. Again, like I said before, it would make its way out of Tallahassee by tomorrow morning, so no more rain. It's going to be a lot more cooler weather when we go into tomorrow. Current temperatures, you're seeing 54 in Tallahassee, 53 in Monticello, 57 in St. Mark's, just the 50s all around the capital cities as well as the Panhandle area. Why I prefer map, we're seeing the cold front right up the East Coast right now, especially it's concentrated in Orlando. It's just kind of stalling out right there for the moment. That's what the darker green means on the map. So like I said before, a lot darker green means a lot more moisture in that area, which is causing a lot more rainfall as well. For the next couple of days, we're seeing this cold front start to make its way out of Florida, start to become dry weather right after this cold front. When we see Wednesday, a lot more dry conditions mean no more rain. A lot of cold weather will be coming into the picture as well for Wednesday and Thursday as well. So for big old Turkey Day, where you're seeing a lot more stuffing, it's going to be a great day to go outside. It's going to be quite cold, so you might want to bring a jacket if you're going to go outside if you have any Thanksgiving Day activities. But for the most part, It's going to be quite a cool one for Thursday as well as Friday. So again, a lot of cold weather coming to the picture, but nothing too unbearable. For Wednesday, we have winds northwest 15-20 miles per hour. So it's going to be quite a gusty one if you're on the beach Wednesday or Thursday. Surf 2 to 4 feet. So we recommend going out because it's going to be quite a cold one, and winds will be kicking up on the beach, as well as the water. Northwest winds at 15 knots, waves 2 to 4 feet. It's still going to be a light to moderate chop. So if you're out on the beach, it's going to be quite a windy one indeed. So make sure everything's going to be anchored in if you're going to go out on the beach. Tonight's forecast, heavy showers. It's going to be quite a wet one tonight. But for tomorrow, rain will be finally clearing out the area, bringing in some colder temperatures, but no more rain after tomorrow morning. So that's quite a good one if you're going to go out for later on Wednesday. For your Thanksgiving forecast, we have it just for you. You see this nice steaming turkey coming up. It's going to be a great day for Thursday, 63 degrees. It's going to be quite a cool day indeed. Northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we're taking a look at the next couple of days. That temperature will be 63 on Thursday. Going to the game day against Florida, our big rivalry for FSU, it's going to be 69 degrees. It's going to be 37 for our low. And for after that, the next couple of days, going to the next work week, as well as when we come back to school on Monday, it's going to be quite a cold one, but it will be warming back up to the 70s by Monday. But now we're going to take over a look with John about the southeast.
Yeah, that cooler air is starting to work its way in. Places like Memphis and Nashville are already in the 40s, and this is going to come our way. It's not going to be a lot of cold air. There just isn't, the source isn't coming from Canada, but temperatures across much of the southeast still in the 50s, 54 degrees in Tallahassee. If you really want the warm air, you're going to have to chase it south over the next couple of days, down in the 80s, down closer to Miami. And these temperatures are falling across the area. Still not a huge source of cold air, but temperatures are falling about 16 degrees cooler today than it was yesterday, and that's because of the northerly winds coming off of the southeast and off of the Appalachians 3 miles an hour off from the northwest in Montgomery, and that's going to cool temperatures down, and it's also going to dry us out. Here's the dew point map, or actually relative humidity map. 90% in Tallahassee. That's what's provided all of the moisture over the last couple of days. And that's bringing in some places have already seen 3 to 4 inches of rainfall from Tampa and up towards the Big Bend here. In Tallahassee, seeing a little bit more than 4.5 inches of rainfall. But if you head off towards the west, lots of dry air. Here's where you're going to want to head for Thanksgiving. Lots of clear skies heading out towards the west of our area. If you want to head west on I-10, it's going to be clear traveling out there, but if you want to head east on I-10, you're going to be socked in with not only bumper-to-bumper cars, but also a lot of this very deep moisture, and that's creating a lot of rainfall, and it's kind of like just piling up here on the west coast of Florida. Eventually, this is all going to move off towards the north and east, and that's the reason there's a flood watch and advisory in effect there across I-75 and also I-95 on the east coast. Not a lot of great travel conditions over there on the east coast, and that's because of all of this rain. Not a whole lot of thunderstorms from, let's say, Cedar Key off towards the north and west, but if you head south of there, there were a couple of reports of funnel clouds, Polk County earlier this afternoon, and heading into the Orlando area. But if you're heading out into the Gulf, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride out there, a moderate chop with some scattered thunderstorms through this evening and into tomorrow, mainly heading down towards the south. If you want to head towards the west, say over towards New Orleans, it'd be a better picture out there for the boats out there. 46 degrees for tonight's forecast here in Tallahassee. Down towards the south is where that warm air is heading down towards the 70s. And then as we head into tomorrow's forecast, in the 60s for most of the southeast, 50s up towards the north, and then that rain really takes off down in Florida tomorrow. Guys?
All right, John, and you took a look at the southeast there, but let's talk about the northeast as well. They've got quite an event coming in the next few days, right?
Yes, they got a nor'easter set to make this way impact to the mid-Atlantic as well as the northeast states again, so a lot more snow will be coming to the area.
One of the busiest travel days, really, Thanksgiving. People all trying to get home, see their families. They're going to be contending with snow. It's going to be wet snow, wintry mixed precipitation, rainfall, things like that. It's going to be a mess. Right?
Yes, expect a lot of travel delays to be associated with that as well, so make sure you stay tuned to the airports as well, because a lot of travel delays will be impacting because of all the weather in the area.
When it gets wet like this, and the snow's not quite as, it just gets wet. It's hard to shovel, hard to deal with, hard to dispose of, and also can lead to power outages, local power outages in several locations.
Yes, we've seen that past couple of days with all the rain that's happened to our area for Tallahassee, but You're going to tell us more about that with a look around national, right, Jake?
Yeah, we've taken a look at things in the Northeast, but let's take a look at all around. And right now, those flood watches that John mentioned are over Florida, extending all the way from southeast Georgia all the way down to Tampa, really, are in effect right now. There are some flood warnings going on around central Florida. They're really getting quite a bit of rain, but in the Northeast, we do have some winter storm watches as well, some events. They will be getting more weather in the next few days. The nor'easter has not come yet, so we need to keep our eyes on that. Low is currently sitting off the Gulf and will be moving rather rapidly up towards the Northeast. And right now, we see right here the temperatures -8, -11, -10, and then we look over towards the west and a little more neutral, or it's warming up after the cold front has passed. So this is a really good way of looking at where it is right now. And right now it's sitting right here and cooling things down pretty dramatically over the past 24 hours. And it's going to be moving through in the next few days, going to be impacting the Northeast and drying the Southeast out in time for Thanksgiving. But by Thursday, mostly we should be cleared out for the holidays. But the big story right now, take a look at the big cities, or some of the big cities anyway. 53 in Seattle is the temperature. We got cloudy. And then we move over here, 80 is cloudy, and then Tallahassee's got overcast. And then the Northeast will have these same conditions over the next few days. Rainfall, precipitation right now over the Florida Panhandle, but the wintry precipitation will be going on in the Northeast as the low moves up there. But right now, Kansas City, actually pretty nice, 33 degrees, looking partly cloudy, 65 San Antonio, so they're still warmer. And then up there in Denver, 46. So that's really the story right now, what we're keeping our eyes on. And we take a look at this, the front basically stalled right now, and it's just dumping the moisture that John mentioned earlier all over the Florida, central Florida Panhandle, and parts of the southern southeast, like southern Georgia and Alabama, are seeing significant rain, 5 inches in southern Georgia. And setting off the Gulf right now, we'll be moving up towards the Northeast. We'll take a peek at it in just a second. Another good look at the rainfall here. Reds in some of the central Florida locations, the flood warnings for them. But then moving up towards the Northeast, they are seeing some snow over the Great Lakes right now. This is the Canadian province, but then you move south over the Great Lakes, they are seeing some snow. This will increase over the next few days. And off towards Montana, we see Bismarck have a little system moving off right now, bringing some snow, and then moving off towards Seattle. They've got what they regularly have, which is onshore flow, giving them some rain as another low pressure system moves on through. But what can we expect once again for tonight? It's going to be right over here in the in Kansas City, extending all the way down 33, and then we move down till San Antonio 40. Minneapolis seeing 17 degrees. So over here in Tallahassee, we're going to be a bit warmer tonight. Still going to be moisture still going to be setting in, and 39 in DC, 37 in Boston. But for tomorrow, it's going to be warmer in Tallahassee. Things are going to start to clear out as we all start to move towards Thanksgiving. But up towards the Northeast, things are going to be getting more moisture, or more weather is going to be moving in.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
It's feeling like the holiday season's here. We've got snow moving up into the Northeast, and we've had quite a bit of rain here. We're starting to move into a little bit of a rainier period now. Lots of shower activity and lots of clouds this afternoon moving through, and they're still moving through, and they'll still continue to move in through the evening hours. Temperatures are held right in the similar area, right in the mid to upper 50s right now. 54 degrees in Tallahassee, 57 in St. Marks. They had a little bit more sunshine down towards the southeast, so they're down at 57 in Perry, and a little bit more rainfall down there as well. And these northerly winds are not helping here, bringing in, finally starting to see some drier air heading in tomorrow. Not quite here yet, with that rain coming off the Gulf for now. And that rain is coming in on a little bit of a jet stream down there, so a little bit stronger winds down towards the south. There's also this low pressure system that is bringing in those northerly winds on the backside of this low pressure system, along with that rainfall. And this low pressure system is what's going to cause all of that trouble as we head into tomorrow for the Northeast. But it's going to cause quite a bit of rain down in the peninsula of Florida here, as well as in the Great Big Bend here. But drier air is starting to work in tomorrow morning, and then finally starting to clear out by midday tomorrow. Starting to see that sunshine return. It's going to feel a lot like the holidays here And then we won't have to worry about the frozen turkeys on Thursday morning, but Friday morning we're going to get a lot closer to that freezing mark. I don't think we're going to hit freezing mark as this cool front pushes through on Thursday evening. This is going to be a dry front, so nothing to disturb your plans on Thursday, but if you're heading out to those Black Friday plans on early Friday morning, you're going to want to watch out for a little bit of wind as this thing comes through. Heavy thunderstorms for tonight's forecast, again with some embedded thunderstorms with 46 degrees and north winds at 10 miles an hour, bringing in that drier air. That's going to be the main story for tomorrow. 61 degrees tomorrow afternoon, so it's going to be on the cool side, but those clouds will be pushing down towards the south with maybe a morning shower or two with northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And looking at the Black Friday forecast, we're looking at 42 degrees at midnight on Friday, with some of those storms are really starting to open and then heading down into the low 40s, upper 30s as we head into the early parts of Friday morning after sunrise. And then look at the morning ahead. We're looking like this, 60s staying with us through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then finally, we're starting to warm up back towards game time on Saturday. Looking fantastic. Not a whole total washout here until probably not until next week, but we're looking at like sunshine for the Florida game.
Yes, I know everyone's very excited for the FSU versus Florida game. I know I've known that rivalry dated back since I was born. I know it's rivalry growing up, so I'm very excited to finally be able to go this my first game, home game.
Yeah, it's we had that drizzly game here this past Saturday. Nothing like that. Maybe a couple of clouds passing through if we're lucky.
Yeah, I know all of us got soaked when the game last week against Boston College, but all sun. It's going to be quite cold, so you might want to bring a jacket if you're going to go out to the game or go anywhere outside.
Something those Gators in the swamp aren't used to is those clear skies, and a little bit chilly for them, I think, too, so maybe that'll help us.
Yeah, it should help us. I mean, we are, again, number 3 in the country right now, undefeated team, the only FBS team left besides Marshall, so we're going to be looking forward to playing against Florida.
It's going to be a good game, and we're talking about better conditions all the way through the weekend as well. We're talking temperatures starting to climb up until the beginning of next week.
Yeah, starting like Monday and Tuesday, we're seeing temperatures back up into the 70s, and everyone's looking forward to that. And that's the last week of school for us before finals, so that's got something to look forward to.
Heading down towards the south, we've got to talk about the rest of the Florida forecast. Jay?
Yeah, guys, and looking around Florida right now, you mentioned the game on Saturday, but right now around Florida, things are not looking as clear as it will be. Miami, surprisingly, right now, no rain they're seeing right now. Things are not as rainy as they are around the rest of Florida. I mean, right here in Orlando, Tampa, they have flood warnings right now. Moving up towards Jacksonville, they're seeing some same amount of rain. And then Tallahassee, we've got the light showers right now, but they will be moving out later today. The winds still coming out of the south down here in Miami, 8 miles an hour in West Palm Beach. But then you move up here as the front moves through, we'll see more of these northerly winds. Right now, they're coming pretty much out of the northwest at 10 miles an hour. Jacksonville, the same thing. So that's what we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days as the front moves through. But looking at relative humidity, a lot of places it's 100% right now. Jacksonville's got 100%. Orlando and Tampa sitting in the mid-90s. But much of Florida is sitting at very, very high moisture content, and it's raining. So the humidity is 100%. Over in Tallahassee, we're still sitting at 90%. But then look off towards the west. Pensacola's sitting at 69. So the more you move west, this cold front's going to move through. It's bringing the rain right now, but it's also the cold front's going to dry us out as soon as this moves through, and our conditions are going to be a lot more pleasant coming Turkey Day. So right now, things are not pleasant. Like I said, Central Florida's got some flood watches right now, or flood warnings, excuse me. Flood watches extending from southeast Georgia all the way down to Tampa as this front just sits here and really just pours on the moisture and the rain, where we're going to see it throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. But then hopefully things should dry out for everybody's travel home. But for right now, Jacksonville, the yellow is pretty strong. Up there, the indices, obviously red would be the heaviest, but orange is right in the middle. Or, I mean, yellow's right in the middle. So Jacksonville's getting quite a bit of rain right now as it moves off towards the Atlantic. Miami, like I said, not really seeing anything right now. Pretty dry for the most part. We do see some pop-ups there. Most of that is just the radar being fooled by things such as objects in the atmosphere, things like that. So nothing too significant in Miami right now, but Central Florida really getting a lot of the heaviest rain we're seeing right now, while they've got from Tampa all the way, or north of Tampa, excuse me, all the way to Daytona Beach, seeing flood watches and warnings. But over here in the capital city, like I said, seeing some pop-up showers. Not a whole lot right now. Starting to slow down. We never saw heavy rain today, but it's very light right now, or it's starting to really cease around the capital city region. But for tonight, things are going to be warm. We still have the moisture sitting around. So 41 over there in Pensacola, but then as you move towards Jacksonville, 52 degrees is the low tonight. Moving towards Orlando, 56, and then down there in Miami, they're still sitting in the mid-70s. So it's still, they're sitting at a temperature that's going to be hotter or warmer than our high will be tomorrow. So moving towards tomorrow, 64 in Jacksonville, like I said, 61 Tallahassee, 63 in Pensacola, but you notice things are starting to clear out. Things are looking much nicer. It's going to be easier to get home. Right now we've got bumper-to-bumper traffic sitting along the I-10 corridor and probably some nasty conditions along the I-75 corridor. So tomorrow is going to be much more manageable, at least for I-10. 66 in Orlando for tomorrow, down there in Miami 76. But that is really the big story right now. John, what more can you tell us about the rest of the country?
Well, these clouds are going to be heading up towards the north. And it seems like every couple of years we have a storm system that causes travel delays for either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And this year, it seems like the travel delays are going to be for Thanksgiving. Just a couple of snow showers across the northern Great Lakes. These are starting to fade away now. Alpena are keeping on with these snowflakes. Buffalo seeing some snowflakes, nothing they want to see there. But this system is going to head off towards the north. But that's not the only thing they're going to see over the next couple of days. We're going to head down towards the south. And look at this delay here in Orlando at 23 minutes. That was an earlier delay because of those stronger storms. And that's the system that's going to come out of the Gulf is going to head up the East Coast. And here, we're going to watch it here. Lots of storm activity here down the Gulf. And this is going to head up the East Coast slowly but surely and head up and cause some weather delays. D.C. starting to see some of that snowflakes into tomorrow morning, and then Boston getting in on the act, and then the whole system gets into gear here tomorrow afternoon. Some of these places could see 14 to 16 inches of snow in southern Vermont and southern New Hampshire, and also parts of northern Massachusetts, well west of Boston. Boston picking up 1 to 3 inches of snow as well. Some snow picking up across southern Illinois, but clear down towards the south and east. If you've got to pick an extra travel day to plan towards the north and east, try for Thursday. I know not many of you probably want to travel on Thanksgiving, but it may be the clear of the next couple of days. And here are some of the warnings and watches that are in effect here across much of the Northeast. Everything here in pink is a winter storm warning. That's where we're going to start to see those travel delays really rack up from New York over towards Hartford, Connecticut, and over towards Montpelier, as well as Poughkeepsie in southern New York. And this is the snowfall. This is how our model depicts this. Here we are. We're going to watch the clock here, up here, starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is going to head off towards the north and east. Here, looking at Scranton, about picking up 8 to 12 inches of snow. And then here's the bullseye here from eastern New York up into southern Vermont and New Hampshire. We're talking upwards of 16 inches of snow in some parts. Boston only seeing a couple of inches. And then here's a reminder that the hurricane season is wrapping up here across the south and east. Nothing to talk about in hurricane season. This is our last forecast for hurricane season, and we wrapped up with 12 tropical storms for the season and 6 hurricanes. But we're going to head off towards the northeast and back in time now with Jay.
Yes, like John mentioned earlier, this day in history has always been known to be a quite significant one for all the snow. Like, for example, back in Northeast, back in 1950, the Great Appalachian Storm happened from 24 to 26. It developed the greatest amount of wind as well as deep snow and most severe early season storm in the history of the Northeast. And give you another example, back in 1971, when we saw Wilkes and Scranton County over in Pennsylvania, they had 20.5 inches of snow recorded at Avoca Airport in Pennsylvania. So again, this day in history has been quite a significant one for a lot of snow and a lot of weather impacted a lot of travel conditions over for Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving week in general. But now let's take it back over to more of a capital city look with Jake.
All right, Jay, and always interesting to think about what has occurred, in the past in terms of weather, especially when we look at something as active as what we're seeing now. But in the capital city, anyway, temperature's sitting at 54 degrees, and we've got overcast now. So the rain's starting to lighten up a little bit. It was already pretty light rain to begin with, but now it's really starting to slow down. But humidity's still sitting at 90%. We have north-northwest winds at 10 miles per hour, so it's going to be going on for the next few days, especially when the front moves through. It's going to be, the winds are going to be just coming mostly out of the north. But around the Big Bend right now, mid-50s is the trend. St. Mark's is the hot spot down there by the coast, 57 degrees, and Apalachicola is matching it at 57 degrees, but mid-50s right now, and that's gonna things are going to be warming. They're going to be warmer than we saw certainly like last week in the mid-20s and such. Tonight it's going to be around mid-40s for our lows, but looking around the satellite and radar through, through about 6:30 today, saw the precipitation just kind of running wild here, but it's starting to clear up, at least for the time being. At least for us, at least over here locally in Tallahassee. Over towards our east, they're still having quite a bit of rain to talk about. But what's going to be going on over the next few days, especially into Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, we all want to know. Well, the low we're experiencing right now, bringing us a lot of the moisture with this stalled front, it's going to be moving towards the northeast, bringing them quite a bit of wintry weather, wet snow such as that. But we're going to be drying out as soon as the front moves through. It's not going to be a very cold front, but it is going to be a dry one, and it will drop our temperatures a little bit. But like I said, nothing like we saw in the mid-20s. But we have another one coming through. It's not going to do much, more like moderate our temperatures, keep them where they are, especially in times for Thanksgiving. So we're all going to be able to enjoy a pretty seasonable, pretty clear day on Thanksgiving. A lot of us heading home or hanging out with family. But in terms of the beach, got to keep our eyes on the UV index, still sitting at 11. The surf's actually a little bit picked up right now, 2 to 4 feet. And northwest winds at 5 to 10 or 15 to 20 miles per hour, excuse me. So picked up a little bit, but once again coming out of the north. So for tonight, 100% chance of rain. We've already seen rain. We will see some more around the capital city, around this whole region. North winds, like I said, going to have some showers tonight. So it's going to persist until tomorrow morning, and then it's going to lighten up and start to clear out as the front finally pushes off towards the east. But 8 a.m. tomorrow, isolated showers. Got to keep your eyes to the skies for that. Cool at midday, 56 degrees. So definitely a cool down. And then very nice evening, moving 6 p.m., 60 degrees with some partly cloudy skies. But for our game day against the Gators, things are going to be 69 degrees, and it's going to be clear. So we're not going to see another wet one like we saw last week against Boston College. Like I said, going to be cooling down moving into Friday. 59 degrees is the high, 63 on Thanksgiving. Have a warm-up coming through next week, Sunday through Monday. Highs are going to be sitting in the mid-70s. But guys, why don't you go ahead and wrap it up for us?
I think everyone's going to be talking about the travel tomorrow with that big storm system moving up towards the north and east. We're starting to see some of those delays already.
Yes, we already saw in our area anyways, over in Florida. We saw in Orlando, we saw a 24-minute delay for airports, but we're also seeing some delays over in Northeast as well.
Yeah, New York City's already starting to see some volume delays, which means they've got a lot of plane traffic going in and out of both Teterboro and JFK right now. Just about half an hour to an hour delay in some of those New York City airports.
Yes, but taking a little more local work around our area. Wednesday, we're still going to see a couple rain showers early in the morning, but after that, the rest of the week looking pretty nice for most of our weather.
Yeah, it's going to be a little cool. We're not talking frozen turkeys here. Got frozen lips here too. But Friday morning, we're going to get close to that freezing mark. Maybe some of our Georgia counties on Friday morning.
See. And also, for the next couple of days, we're seeing temperatures back up in the 70s.
Yeah, stay with us here at FSU Weather on Facebook, Twitter, and live stream, and also on 78.1 now, starting back on Monday.
Yes, like you said, for livestream.com/FSU Weather as well. You can always follow our lovely faces. We're all going to be on there every weekday.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic holiday for most of us. We're going to get most of that storm system out of the way for the north and east. But I'm meteorologist Jonathan Bellis.
I'm sitting around with Jay Kimball. Have a great night and have a great Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.